Everyone knows Rome, Venice, Naples, the classic postcard spots. But Calabria, most people can't even point it out on a map. It's a region in southern Italy that people have been living for generations. In fact, some villagers here gave away entire houses for just €1, not to make money, but to stay alive. That story caught my attention, so I went there to see it all for myself. Just for some context, Calabria is one of Italy's oldest continuously inhabited regions, with settlements like Punta di Zamprone dating back over 3,000 years to the late Bronze Age. Then came the Greeks around 2,800 years ago, turning the region into what they call Magna Graecia. Even today, you can still find ancient ruins, and in some towns you can even hear traces of Greek in the local dialects. From the late 1800s to the 1970s, millions of southern Italians, including many from Calabria, emigrated. Poverty, natural disasters like the 1908 Messina earthquake, and major floods pushed them to leave. And while countless families moved on to build lives elsewhere, something else was quietly taking shape. In Calabria's villages, the 'Ndrangheta mafia began to form around the mid-19th century. As poverty worsened and the state turned a blind eye, it grew dramatically. At one point, their illegal dealings were so massive they were estimated to make up 3% of Italy's entire GDP. Unlike other mafias that eventually crumbled, the 'Ndrangheta went global. They are now Europe's biggest cocaine traffickers, with operations spread across the continent. And because of all this, investors and businesses avoided Calabria. No new money meant no new jobs or families, and no reason for young people to stay here. All of it, this criminal empire that would someday span the entire globe, began right here, in quiet villages just like these. Over time, some villages lost over 90% of their population. Now ghost towns are scattered all over this region, dozens of them just sitting there, slowly being reclaimed by nature. And when so many people leave, it's not just the buildings that disappear, it's an entire way of life. The festivals that once brought the streets to life, they are barely happening anymore. You can hear fewer and fewer local dialects, and old crafts are dying out. In some places, churches still open their doors, but it's usually just a handful of elderly residents trying to keep the lights on, hoping their traditions won't disappear when they do. Over the past decade, Calabria has tried different ways to bring people back to its empty villages and towns. Some villages, like Rosé, started offering abandoned houses for just €1. The idea is having these homes renovated and occupied in the next few years is worth more to these towns than selling them off at full price. The catch is that most of these houses need major renovations and structural work, and they usually have to be fully restored within 3 years. Still, a lot of people took the chance to get a cheap house, and it did make these places feel more alive. Towns like Riace and Badolato didn't just bring in bargain hunters either. They also welcomed refugees and migrants. Little by little, these towns started to feel like actual towns again. So yeah, maybe Calabria isn't the place most people dream of when they picture Italy. But for me, that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. Walking through these towns, you don't just see abandoned buildings. You get glimpses of their history and you have to fill in the rest on your own. And that's why Calabria deserves a second look.